All right. All right, so if you haven't seen this before, people are going to post their submissions, preferably not serious stuff, but the last time had an excessive amount of serious stuff on here. And so I was telling my wife about it, and she recommended something that she's seen that, people do in these, where people will, recommend services you should or could go to rather than me. I'm not a trained professional. Here's some phone numbers that you can call if you need to talk to someone. International Suicide Hotline is 988. U.S. Domestic Violence Hotline is 800-799-7233. Check the thing, because sometimes I say these numbers wrong. UK's variant of that, the Domestic Violence Hotline, is 080 0808 2024. And then Canada's version, there's a couple different ones. There's one for Indigenous people, and then there's one for young adults. It didn't have a number on the website I checked for adults, but 1-800-668-6868. Nice, easy numbers to remember. I'm putting this here because if I see any ones that look real heavy, we're gonna skip them. I can't do this. People are sending sad stuff too, and I get it. You want to talk to someone. But I don't have the capacity to be helpful to you guys. And I'm sorry for that. I really am. But I don't know you. I have one post that tells me everything that I'm supposed to know about your life. Like, one paragraph of text is supposed to be everything about you. No. For a stupid little jokey thing, it's fine. So that's the reason I put that there. I'm gonna make it go away now. But yeah, if you need help, if you're thinking about submitting some fucked up shit that happened to you, first off, don't. Second off, please seek professional help. I really wish that BetterHelp was actually good, because this would be like a perfect sponsorship opportunity, because it would be helpful and would pay me, but they are not. And there's really not an international, easy to get to mental health thing aside from these services here. But try and keep it lighthearted, please. I'm not gonna bring this up every single time, but anyway. Let me get the music as well. All right, first one. In high school history class, I remember our teacher asking us what we did to honor 9/11. She sounded so disappointed when we said we did nothing. Most of us were either 1 or 2 years old when it happened, then figured out the youngest in the class was born after 9/11 and proceeded to have a meltdown about it. Music's tad loud? Sorry. Let me try turning it down. Isn't this a Tumblr post? It probably is. Music's a bit loud. Right about here sound good? You definitely saw this? Okay. Stolen for sin for lying. Deleting the next one, because, yeah. When I was a child, I would wipe my boogers on my big toe and feed it to my cat. My family found out once my cat bit my toe too hard and I screamed. I still don't know why I did it. Okay, so here's my issue with this one. I would wipe my boogers on my big toe. That is a not one-time thing. That's like they did this several times, right? That verbiage. Like, wiping your booger off onto your big toe is weird enough, but doing it repetitively is even weirder. Weird. Thank you. I bit my toenails as a kid. What? I mean, I believe this. I'm just like, why? Like, I bite my fingernails still. Like, that's a bad habit that I need to get over. But, like, you know. Yesterday night, I found some adult toys in my oldest teenager was hiding. I have no idea how to talk to them about it because they're all stolen from me. They've been burned. The talk is yet to happen. Oh my god, that's even worse. Holy shit. Like, I skim read this. But the fact that it was theirs, they burned the toys, not the child. The talk is yet to happen, just awkward silence and looking away from each other. Yeah. What are your sex toys made out of that you can burn them? Wood? You want to stick a wood dildo up your ass and get splinters? That seems like a bad idea. Condoms exist? Did Rev forget varnish exists? No, okay, first off, what? Second off, no. Maybe the silicone dildos in the fire? Like, you cannot clean wood to the degree that you need to in order to put that in there. Like, burns might have been an exaggeration. Okay. Like, it's gonna get gross stuff in it. They probably just threw them away. Also, I need to, like, turn... Yeah, there's not, like, quite the right angle for this. You know, if someone stole my adult toys from me and was using them themselves, I would... That's not healthy. This is bad, and I hope it's not real. Tell Herman and Abby I love them. You're an anon. What do I say? Someone loves you? Someone whose kid stole their dildo collection loves you? Like, what do you want me to do? Dildo parent loves you? Okay. I like the taste of when I like Switch cartridges. They taste like spoiled milk, apparently. That last one was a sin for trying to get a free point redeem. Sin because that's weird. I haven't licked one yet. When I was working at GameStop, I seriously so we have like ones that we open for the sake of like they like having an unboxed copy they put on the shelf. You should lick it, you're missing out. Molotov loves you, kitties. I mean, I used to put my tongue on a 9-volt battery to make sure it works, but then I stopped doing that. It hurts. We'd find out real fucking fast that it's on and it's working or not. I don't recommend it because it's not a fun feeling. You tase your tongue. Get a voltage memory? I mean, I do have a voltage meter, but sometimes I'm not around where I need. Yeah, the idea is that kids don't like the taste and then they don't try and eat it. I like how skunks smell. You can submit that here, you know that, right? Like, you don't have to say that, like... I mean, I appreciate how brave you are, but please submit your sins rather than posting them in chat. They smell like weed? Dude, you need some better weed. When I was young, I once scammed a kid out of his entire Yu-Gi-Oh collection by giving him a crumpled up Skull Servant card and telling him it was worth a lot. He fell for it and gave me his collection. His collection of Yu-Gi-Oh cards was worth $900. Sin. Average child criminal behavior. I've been learning that children are just criminals. Sin. 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 Sin and probably a crime, sure. This one chat's gonna have to help me with because I don't understand what this is. When I was 19 and I started smoking, I would tip my plug who delivered to me an extra 20 because I thought I was being polite. Oh, plug is slang for drug dealer. That's adorable. Hey, thank you for dropping by. Here's a tip. This is a very good Sinfession. It's very wholesome, too. I mean, tipping culture is getting out of control. Can we be honest? You can't even order weed anymore without your dealer expecting a tip. You know, he shows up with your dime bag and he's like, I love this. This is gonna be real hard to beat this one. I had a major surgery a few months ago. The first thought I had was to tell the nurse that I needed my phone, not to tell my family I'm awake, but because my parentheses platonic wife lives in my phone and I miss them. Question, do you mean literally? Or do you mean like it's a long distance thing? Like, all my friends live in my computer kind of thing. His gotcha wife. Okay. Yeah. Not to tell my family I'm awake, but because my platonic wife lives in my phone and I miss them. I didn't say that part out loud to the staff, but when I told said friend on the ride home, they thought it was precious. I have no doubt in my mind that if they were there when I woke up, that's a real person. I don't think this is a waifu. I think this is a real person that's like long distance friend. I have no doubt in my mind that if they were there when I woke up, I probably wouldn't have had that kind of restraint, and we would, could both feel flattered or embarrassed. That's adorable. This is not a sin. This is based. Most of, if not all of my knowledge of well-known older anime and cartoons is from hentai animator Zone Sama. I've spoken to them. They dropped by on the day that Flash was going out of production. I was streaming Flash games. More specifically, Fully Cooley, Motor City, and Starbarians. Which as a result has become my personal favorites. The cartoons themselves, not my porn. Not the porn. However, my high school friends at the time knew about these endeavors and often geeked out about it to them. I look back and shake my head disappointed. That is cringe, but amazing. Ben? Also, I really hate that Fooly Cooly is considered older anime. Like, I don't like that part of this, because I watched Fooly Cooly when it was, like, debuting. I know it's not new. I watched it when it was debuting, when I still lived with my parents. I never really got Fooly Cooly. I'll be honest. Zone Sama providing real weird porn. Yeah, I feel like I heard about Motor City from, it's like Metal's Heads, right? So I remember like my boss at the anime store referencing it. Fooly Cooly is a super overrated show. That's a hot take, but I think I kind of agree with it. Metalocalypse people worked on it. I still remember the Midnight animation. Yeah, Pathologic? Why's that? What did the Zone Sama Midna thing? What was it? What was that like? This whole animation of her hanging out? This one's not real, but I'm reading it anyway. At some point in my life, when I was living with my mother, I had to use her toothbrush to help me nudge out a massive shit I just could not push out. It was the only thing nearby that would moderately help with something like that. Spoiler, it didn't help. For context, I used to have this bad habit of not eating well, which is also almost certainly what caused the constipation. I still feel bad since she never found out. I assume you threw it out. Also, it's doing that glitch thing again. Give me a sec. What's that Minecraft looking thing right next to you? Oh, that's my painting. I'll show you guys just a second when I get back. I think I just read a He doesn't know about the melon baller technique? Sin. Sin, sin, sin. Get out of here. There's so much porn coming up. I just saw like the word porn show up like okay. When I was in middle school, we had a grade-wide field trip to spend a couple of days camping, but everyone but me was able to spend the night out there, and I seriously don't get a why. I was a problem kid growing up, with a bad temper and sometimes the subject of bullying, but the kids who got bullied worse got to stay overnight. Maybe the teachers thought I'd kill a kid in their sleep? I don't get it. It was just a dumb kid with a temper who drew and played with Legos. I never got a reason why I was excluded. This is just trauma. This isn't a sin. Why would this be a sin? When I get bored, I rewatch old Vinesauce crew videos. Some videos are really 8 years old now. I realized that I've been watching since the Chitango days as a young teen, and now I'm in my mid-20s. Time isn't real. Agreed. I still laugh at your facade video. It's a good pick-me-up and has me cheer up and laugh a little when I feel sad. That's very wholesome. Not a sin. Just nice. Duke Mike, thank you for the 4 months of support. Thank you. Those videos were amazing. Well, thank you. Now, that being said, this is a sin because it's a sin. Wait. Yeah, sin for not being a sin. I think that works. I'm like, is that a recursive issue? But yeah, this is the painting that I did for the most recently arcade. It's like a graph of how I'm doing. Where this white square represents the one day that was like an A+ day. And then that black square is like an F-. And then it goes from like white is good, black is bad, and red is like straight in the center. And then the yellow ones are like, we found that this quarter was like a prime. It's the second in the set of 3 that I'm doing. I'm doing one every 4 months. So the first one is like teal and that kind of look. It's like that shit blanket. Yeah, I was doing this before the shit blanket thing. But yes, I know about the shit blanket. I'm aware. Princess Slimmy? Princess Slimmy loves you, kitties. It's a lot easier to do that when they're actually in the room, I will tell you. I almost explained... almost explained Homestuck to my old therapist. I got as far as there's this webcomic I like before I realized if I explained any more, I would be put in a mental hospital and refused to explain Homestuck to her. I was around 14, by the way. Yeah, I was probably right in its heyday. Honestly, just like... maybe that's like, maybe that's actually helpful to your therapist. To be like, hey, there's this webcomic I like. Like, I reference things that I like. My therapist knows that I play Warhammer. But this is good that you realized that it was going to be cringe as you were saying it, you know? I don't know what Homestuck is. I don't plan on learning it. It's a webcomic. It's one of the longest pieces of literature in the world. What faction does your therapist main? No, I just, like, I need to get out more, and so we started talking about that as a thing. Confessing for my brother because he's such a little bitch, but... sin because you're a little bitch. When my brother was 13, he was so bad at wiping his ass, he would smear his doo-doo fingers on the walls on the side of the toilet and then blame me, 9 years old, for it. My father believed him purely because when my dad asked who was doing it, and he tattled on me first, I used to scream it wasn't me, and it kept happening. My dad would yell at me to stop, and I told him I couldn't stop because I wasn't the one I was doing it. He's 23 and does this to... No, this isn't real. This is not real. This is not real. There's no way that this is real. Sin. I find myself attracted to Joker and Harley Quinn relationships. You need therapy. I wish I was Harley. Harley's in an abusive relationship with the Joker. I don't know how to explain this to you any better. I wish I was being bossed around by a psychotic, genocidal clown as he pulls my pigtails and whispers me to kill a guy in a bat suit in my ear. I want to be tossed around like a toy by the Joker. I want the Joker to step on me. I want someone like the Joker in my life. Okay, here's what you do. I'm gonna make your world so much fucking worse. Here's what you do. You go to the subreddit. There's a subreddit called I Got My Halo. Go there. And hit on the first person that has a really popular post. Enjoy having the worst fucking life you can possibly have. I think that's the name of the subreddit. The idea of the subreddit is that you post when people are virtue signaling. Mostly just people saying stuff like, yes, anonymous would be preferred. If I see one that's got a name in it, I will delete it. Princette. Anonymous would be preferred. Give me a second. I'll actually go and delete yours. Give me half a second. I'm going to scroll all the way up. just so you don't have to worry about it. Anon. Yeah, you need to make sure yours was anonymous. I deleted it. I didn't read it. No worries. Yeah, that just feels real bad. Yeah, post it again, but this time anon. As funny as that would be, but anyway, like I said, the just got my Halo subreddit is people posting people who are virtue signaling, basically just saying like, hey, it's okay to be gay, or I would beat up a pedophile if I could. It's like, yeah, you probably actually wouldn't. Or look at my Halo. Yeah, I posted some stuff on there just to see what like would get me banned, and by posting something that they have no reading comprehension. Holy shit. You know what? No, I'm gonna take a moment. I'm gonna talk about this. I posted a thing talking about Wyoming senators wanting to stop a bill from going through that would prevent childhood marriage. Specifically, Republican Wyoming congressmen. I posted it because I was like, this person's talking about how much they want to save the children, but they're totally fine with children marrying adults. You know, they're virtue signaling that they believe in protecting children, but they actually don't want to protect children. It's not about that. They're just assholes, is what I was saying. Right? And they're like, how is this a thing? There's no thing for it. It's just the pinned comment, Twingmaster. And I got downvoted to hell and back. And people were like, actually, this bill says they don't want that. And I'm like, yeah, that's the point. They voted against it, asshole. And they're like, it was legitimately so fucking annoying. It was like, oh my God, can you read the fucking thing? It's just like, yes, they voted against it, and they voted against it up until a email got leaked saying that they were gonna like make sure you look into this, that way you can you know, vote against it when it comes up. It's a constitutional issue. Never used Reddit, never will. My God, you see how fucking angry I am right now? You have made a good decision with your life. Holy fucking shit. Anyway, you can go there and you can find your own Joker. What's the sin level of getting AI to make porn? I've been lurking on a forum for certain kink, not important which one, for years. I'd like to see the fiction category to see what people are writing. It's been invaded by AI and people writing guides on how to break ChatGPT's filter to get it to write fetish content. I don't partake in it myself because I'm not lazy, but they have to enter prompts a highly specific way to get it to write it, where it's just less effort to write porn yourself. I have seen AI porn. It's not good. AI art in general has this weird aesthetic where it's like you got like person, right? Not gonna draw like the best person ever. We're just gonna draw like a real quick like whatever. So you got your person, you got like eyes or nose and all that jazz, face. It has this weird, so first off, there's horribly aggressive shines, and everything has this really thick border, and there's like the contrast is all fucked. Like really aggressive shadows everywhere. Everything's covered in Vaseline. I've been looking at... Okay, this one is ChatGPT. I've not seen ChatGPT porn. It just seems bad. Like, I've seen it write other stuff, and it's not good at it, so I can't imagine... Man, it's entirely based on what fetish you're into, but sin, probably? Fuck AI. My sin is I want to get fucked from Brooke by, from One Piece. I really am, okay, sin because you did not use the obvious joke here is my sin is I want to get boned by Brooke. Yo! That was horrible. 15 years ago when I was a teenage girl, got curious about my sexuality, looked stuff up online. The dumbass that I was reading about was masturbating with pickles. So I took some pickles when my family weren't looking and began to masturbate with them. My dumbass self also thought to put the pickles back in the jar instead of throwing them away. I still feel ill to say the next part, but I sworn I saw my father eat a few of the used pickles hours later. Nope, 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 nope. No, 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 no. Now everyone needs therapy. Sin. Sin. That can't feel good. It's also too wobbly to do anything. I draw skippity toilet rule 34. Probably a meme? Sin. I think my modus operandi from here on out, I love the way I fucked up pronouncing that. If I see one that is like a real thing, I'm gonna delete it after I get done rating it rather than respond to it to encourage people not to send me like actual bad shit. Does that make sense? It's not that I don't want to help you, it's that I realize that I can't help you. And that this is not the avenue that you should be looking to get help. When I was in middle school, I was crushing on this girl and also on the Roblox forums all the time. When searching through my old forum posts, I found this one where I describe her bent over something to glue things, and I said to my friends, I call it fine art. I remember that happening. My friends had actually called me a creep. I changed it to look cooler in the Roblox forum. Okay, so this is the sentence that makes you realize it's a sin. Right, like honestly, this whole sentence, I remember that happening. My friends had actually called me a creep. I changed it to make me look cooler on the Roblox forums. I'm glad the early internet is not well archived too sometimes. It's good for us. Dragon Con is held every year on Labor Day in Atlanta. E-scooters swarm the streets, and my friends were at a red light. In a car, two couples following behind us, overloading their scooters. Two per. This is always a bad idea. The one in second place swooped around first place. They were kind of racing. This forced first place to swerve right and slam right into the curb, sending his girlfriend face planting into the concrete. The lights were green. We gunned it out of there. Hopefully the EMTs were nearby. Those things are fucking death traps. Most e-scooter users are fucking idiots. Most e-scooter users have never ridden one before. Funny moment, but didn't happen to you personally. You just saw it. So sin? Not a sin, just something that happened. Agreed. Also, those things cannot be well maintained. I doubt that they ever get maintenance, and they just sit out in the rain. One time in kindergarten, I accidentally drank another kid's milk thinking it was mine, then lied when asked if I drank it. Amazing. Sin, yeah. Kid behavior, but typical kid behavior, I agree. I know what soap tastes like. Yeah, I remember cussing in front of my mom once too. Only happened once that she did that. When I was in middle school, I used to text this girl from school, and she asked who I liked, and I responded, you. And then I don't remember what she said after that, but I just pretended she never existed after that. Dies of cringe. I'm so sorry for you. For anyone who hasn't been here and done this, this is not the correct thing to say. Because this does not work. This does not work at all. Been there, done that. Does not work. Do not do this. Holy shit. Sin. Saying you are just pretending they don't exist. Pretending they don't exist is actually useful. Saying you is bad. She asked though. Saying just you is not the correct thing to do. This is basic middle school behavior, yes. Not a sin is cringe. I would say cringe, yes. It worked for me, but then I had no idea what to do next, so we broke up a few days later. One time I pissed in my stepdad's shampoo bottle because he was always rude to me. Fucking... Why are you saying middle school behavior to this? Also, this is a cock-wielding individual. Because I think the mechanics of doing this as a non-cock-wielding individual would be impossible or very difficult. When I was a kid, 5 years old max, I used to think that gender was based on hair length. I think that's what we're going for there. Big hair girl, small hair boy. I even met a teacher who was female but had short hair, so I simply kept referring to her as a man. Nobody can understand me. Gender is strange. Yeah, a lot of the like very clinical terminology that's in like trans language, I find just like, who the fuck knows what that means aside from trans people and like shrinks and stuff. I can feel like it's too clinical, you know? Bald folks are asexual, by the way, or super manly. So anyone who's saying that I'm balding, you're just saying I'm a real man. When I was a kid, I loved Inuyasha so much that I would run with my arms behind my back to get, and would get so mad when people told me I Naruto ran. He did actually run like that. I even went to school with a blanket hanging from my back of my pants as if it were a tail, And I like to pretend I was the spouse of a character who's was a werewolf. That's your type, man? Man, that is a fucking... Weeb Center moment. Childhood cringe. I recently got kicked out of a movie theater because my idea of pranking people was blasting Power Man 5000's Drop the Bombshell during the screening of Oppenheimer. Cringe? Yes. Worth it? Also yes. I'm gonna go with no on the second part. Sin. Just cringe. I like Fire Emblem. Sin. Cringe, you're going to hell. Enjoy your waifus in hell, bitch. I glitched out Crab Game while you and Mike were streaming to get a lethal weapon into the game that wasn't supposed to have a lethal weapon. I hunted him down and took him out of the game unfairly before going on a power drunk rampage. Who are you? Some guy messaged me about CS2 drops or some other scam. His account name is Mr. Pinky. Okay, good to know. 2 R's and Mr. Like, who would have sent this? It was like, who's in that? Like, Hackerling was there, right? Limes was there. Mike was there. Vinny was there. Yol was there. Meat was there? Was Meat there for that, or did Meat show up for Duck Game? Or Duck Duck Goose? This wasn't a sponsored stream. No, this was a charity stream. Meat was there? Didn't you and Mike play Crab Game way before? The verbiage here is not... Mike didn't write this. This has proper grammar as well. Like, this is not the speaking pattern of Mike or... Limes? You banned the Waco guy during the first Crab Game streamed December of 2022. I'm sorry, how the fuck do you remember that? Mike does have proper grammar. I'm just saying there's a comma here. This comma is very telling, actually. Who the fuck puts commas in sentences? Also, thank you for letting me know. My wife says food's almost done. I do sometimes. Right, but I don't think... Also, Power Drunk Rampage is a very specific sentence. When you're trying to figure out who wrote things, you can, like, get these weird specificalities of it. What if it was Fred? I could see Lime saying this. The hyphen on Power Drunk is also very telling. You're right. This could also... I'm going to guess either Fred, Limes, or Hackerling. And I honestly think it's probably Hackerling. Maybe. Maybe? They could also fake their writing pattern. A lot of people don't know to do that. But if this is also farther back, maybe not. Hacker is not that vindictive. I'm sorry, what? Like, I know very few things about Hackerling, but Hackerling seems like she would do this. When I was younger, I used to play a lot of Minecraft PE. What is that? Around when it came out. With all my cousins and younger sister. And we went to their house. One of my cousins decided to all name ourselves Herobrine and go into my sister's world and mess around for a few seconds and then leave. So we did that, but it worked a little too well. She freaked out so bad and started crying. We might have possibly given her first panic attack. She still doesn't know it's us. Trust me, I still feel bad. Ooh, it could have been Virus. You're right. I mean, Sin, obviously, on this one, but if there's been enough time between then and now, you could probably tell them at this point. Like, tell your sister that you did this. They'll either hate you or find it really funny. Either way, I will find it funny. So the chairs at my restaurant I'm currently working at are the worst with moisture. So much that when some dudes sit on them during the summer, their balls sweat gets stamped to the chair for a few minutes. And in some cases, it's not much more than that. A few weeks ago, it happened to a girl. It's winter here. The print was more like a snail trail that could soak an entire napkin. I hate the words that you were saying to me. That makes this a sin. Why did you tell me this? Also, what are they wearing? Fucking nothing? Like the guy's balls are just like hanging out of his shorts? The guy's got his goddamn jorts on and he's got him hiked up. The Daisy Dukes. The balls are popping out and they're laying on the thing. Like, what? Stop saying words. No, no. This sounds like a made-up fetish story. Next? No, I'm actually going to spend a little bit more time because it seems to be upsetting you guys. How many people walk around with no underwear on and use their ball sweat to, like, mark chairs and shit? Like... Okay, alternative strat. You know you've got sweaty balls. You're on a chair. Mark your territory. Just slam your balls down on that. Normally people mark their territory with their piss, not ball sweat. You could do both. Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of DM scammers right now. A lot of phishing scammers. Just ignore your DMs for now. If you see someone DMing you that you don't know, don't click on any links. Don't do anything they ask you to. Just report them and move on from there. I can't do anything about it aside from blocking them. And if they're not coming in here, then I can't do anything, really. Anyway, sin for making me read words. Middle school class, we started working on an Excel project for a few lessons. On the first day, I got so bored, I scrolled to the bottom of my rightmost cell of my project, like 60 plus cells, wrote hello, then promptly forgot. Oh no! A few days later, we had to print the projects. I printed mine and pretended didn't know why the printer was spewing out pages. I couldn't figure out how to cancel it. They all had my name and date on the top because the lesson had us pre-program the headers. Oh my god! That's really funny. Wow. That's real. That is a thing someone would do. Holy fuck. As a child, I might or might not have contributed to the flooding of multiple properties. What the fuck is this word? It seems like you mean flooding. Also, I think that someone subbed. Tata Pien Hob. Thank you for the 2 months of support. They probably mean flooding. I might or not have contributed to flooding with multiple properties. When I was out on the countryside for an extended vacation with distant relatives who were farmers, I used to really like beavers, so I made a dam with rocks and mud. I significantly raised the water level and managed to hide a huge boulder underwater. The rain season began, and in 2 days after rainfall, properties downstream from where I made the dam were flooded, spelled wrong again, and one of them had a huge boulder crash down on top of it. This cannot have happened. I don't think physics work this way. I don't think you could dam up a river that well. Assumed guilt. Yeah. I stole a Mickey Mouse plush from Disneyland when I was like 10. Based, do it again. In middle school / early high school, I got really into Star Trek because we went over to my grandmother's once while she was watching TNG. I very quickly, like that day, developed a crush on Data and proceeded to obsess with him for like 6 months. When I would overhear my mom on the phone with said grandfather talking about how deranged I was, in a funny way, not a sad way. Data is so endearing. I don't know enough about him. He's kind of a weird looking dude. So I would have to assume that it's his personality. He's great. Okay. You know what? At least you're not simping for someone who's like... There are worse people to have picked. How have you not watched Star Trek? I've watched some episodes of Star Trek. I just don't fucking care. There's a lot of people like, what was the name of the Onceler? The Onceler is a bad one. There's a lot of like, they just kind of suck and they're not actually good looking. So like, Data is like okay looking as long as the personality is good enough. I could see that being a thing. I confuse your voice with Will Arnett's BoJack voice sometimes. I assume you mean the main character. I've not watched that. Angel Dust, I think, is the character from Husband Hotel. BoJack Horseman. I don't need a retrospective. Oh my god, there's so many fucking videos about this show. Okay, BoJack Horseman is depressed.
Did you know that each character in BoJack represents the 5 stages of grief?
Oh, fuck off.
The 5 stages of grief. Well, number 1.
It's like the song says, you do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. You turn yourself around. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I don't know if the songwriters put that much thought into the existential significance of the lyrics. They literally rhyme about with about. But isn't the...
How does it sound anything like me? I know you hear this. That's fine. Like, no, it doesn't. He's got a really gravelly voice. Like, if I was a smoker, I would sound like... So, he's talking about... Not that voice. The other one. Let me...
Put into it and more what people get out of it.
Is that the point of art?
Maybe. Or maybe art doesn't need a point. Maybe that's why it's called art.
I can't tell if you're being smart or stupid.
That. Like that guy. If my voice had a vocal fry and your voice was lower, then yeah. Yeah, if my voice was completely fucking different. I'm sorry, I don't hear it. Get the guy from PlayStation All Stars for the voice of Sweet Tooth. I did smoke a pipe for a while because a friend of mine was like, dude, it's really cool. I tried it. Do you know how fucking annoying smoking from a pipe is? The thing goes out every 5 goddamn seconds. You have to keep relighting it. It was the worst honestly, it just sucks to try and smoke from a pipe. Cause like with a cigarette, it just kind of burns, and assuming that like you kind of puff on it like at least a little bit, it'll keep going pretty much until it burns to the filter, right? The orange bit. With a pipe, it goes out like pretty immediately, so you get like one puff and then you have to like redo it. Like it just doesn't have like the airflow constantly going because it's shielded. Honestly, if you're going to take up smoking, smoke from a pipe because it'll suck ass. When I was 12 years old, the best part of him... I told the 12-year-old the best part of him was the brown stain on his mother's mattress when I was abroad a couple years ago, when he was being an annoying little shit. And I have no idea if I went too far for that kid. I will never see again. Based. I have terrible insomnia, and one of the things I've resorted to in order to tire my brain out mentally is playing Minecraft Seeds. It's oddly enjoyable, but also painfully exhausting. Mentally playing them. Oh my god, wow, okay. So just like imagining what you would be doing in Homestuck. Or I mean in, sorry, the next one has to do with Homestuck. Imagine what you would do in Minecraft and rebuild shit in Minecraft. You're able to 3D analyze how your world looks to the point that you can put it together. Your brain runs Minecraft. I mean, maybe not at a good frame rate, but it runs at a, you know, it runs. Does your brain also run Doom? Try playing the like first couple levels of Doom. Get a good speed run record on it. Might be more useful. When I was a freshman, I guilted my mother into buying me a full set of Homestuck Scalemates. When they were being sold, I still have a majority of them. Gave one to a friend who had never read it as a gift. The rest are in a pile in my room. I still feel really guilty about how I got them because they were somewhere between $80 to maybe $200, and we were pretty poor. I'll be honest with you. Your mom is an adult. Your mom can make decisions. What's a Scalemate? It's a little like stuffed dragon. Your mom had to agree to that. Your mom was aware of how much that was going to cost and had to do it. Why were that expensive? Homestuck. OP was a freshman, right? So that means that their mom had to have been old enough to be able to, like, your mom was older than a, like, freshman. Either college or high school, either way. Your mom is very sweet. And honestly, rather than feeling guilty about it, just tell her that you love her. Tell her about this. Tell her that, you know, those plushies you got as a kid, I feel so bad about, like, I didn't really have a value of how much the money was or whatever, but thank you so much for that. She'll appreciate it. Because if you were poor and your mom was still trying to figure out how to make $80 to $200 plushies work, that is love. The fucking hurdle she would have had to have gone through to do that was love. Just go tell her that you love her. I have a friend who's obsessed with a specific YouTuber and is actually parasocial to the point of delusion. I don't know how to help them, but it sucks because they need help, genuine help. They need a therapist. You're not that. I'm not that. My best friend's girlfriend cheated on him with me. Oh. Hold up. No. No, I don't like how passive this sentence is. Oh, yes, I go to therapy. I'm skipping the rest of this. I'm sorry. Though I think the correct phrasing is, I cheated on... Yeah, I guess that's right, because you weren't in a relationship with your boyfriend or best friend. Okay. Sometimes I do a little bit of video editing for a living. The amount of times I've misspelled FF impeg as FM impreg into a console is concerning. Not even interested in the topic. Muscle memory just kicks in. Okay, this is a file type. I'll open up Vegas real quick to show you. Also, you want to see how much of a clusterfuck my thing is for doing arcade videos? Because this thing loads for fucking ever. Just ignore all of this shit. I don't know where it went. And then export. Save as? Yeah. Anyway, it's a file type. This is funny. Clap. This is the newest version of Vegas. Tiny said, I sold some screws and cable management stuff that weren't popularly cataloged from work the day that I got a call that they were firing me without warning. Okay, guys. Please send your sins. Cringe things. This is based as fuck and funny. This is not a sin. This is based as fuck, and everyone should do this. How? How did you get hard enough for that? We're gonna read like 2 more. And then I'm gonna eat the food that my wife made because she was making something special tonight. Don't throw stones in glass houses. Man, I hope that this is just one person that's jerked off to Family Guy porn, but there's a lot of it. I've seen Family Guy porn before. You go on a website that's got some porn. On the sidebar, there's an ad. Hey. Fuck Lois Griffin in this game. Which character could you possibly be fucking attracted to on that show? Have some goddamn self-respect, people. In the 2nd grade, I waited in line for my teacher for 5 to 7 minutes to ask if I could vomit in the bathroom. That was in the classroom. By the time I got my teacher to ask, I was at that crucial point that if I didn't go off at that moment, I was just gonna vomit everywhere. My teacher had shouted at me to go immediately just before I could open the bathroom door. I hurled on the floor. I'm laughing at myself now for being a weird kid. Fair. Poor janitor. Alright. Last one. Who the hell gets minutes of warning for... Wait, what? Oh, before you throw up? I think when you're feeling, like, queasy is what they're talking about. Like, I feel queasy for a bit before I vom. Probably just the nausea, and you kind of feel it coming on. Like, oh man, like this isn't just me feeling a little off, like I might actually vomit now. Yeah, I mean, you threw up in the bathroom. That's, like, cleanable. This was also in 2nd grade. You were a child. Sin, you're going to hell. All right, last one.
They took the pepperoni and stuffed it in the cheesy bread. They took the pepperoni and stuffed it in the cheesy bread.
Sinner. 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 When I was a kid, I couldn't watch Arthur because I had a crush on Buster Baxter and made my heart flutter. It was also how I realized I was gay. Nowadays, I just see he's a rabbit boy. I don't know what came on top of me. Not really furry either. It was just Buster Baxter when I was like 9. Here's the situation. He was a cool kid. However, yeah, came on top of me is a really weird phrasing here. I will say. Like, I don't know why you said that. He was, like, kind of like the best friend. On Arthur. He was like Arthur's best friend, kind of like hung out with him, took care of him. I didn't watch the show that much. He was a little rabbit fella. He's the guy that's like, do you think that would do that? Lie on the internet? You're probably just watching kid shows because you're 9. And a lot of kid shows just have random animals in them. And he was a nice guy. He was a nice kid. That's probably why you had a crush on him. You were also 9. It is adorable that that was your that was your gay awakening, was Buster Baxter. Honestly, like, I've talked about some of, like, the childhood crushes I had growing up. Buster is probably not that bad compared to some of the other. I crushed on some weird fucking people. Some weird fucking characters growing up. I'm trying to remember some of them. Like, you know, Raven from Teen Titans, obviously. Had a crush on the mechanic lady. What the fuck? I'm trying to remember what the name of the evil chick from Reboot was. We talked about this before. Lola from Space Jam, sure. Miss Frizzle, okay. Hexadecimal, yeah. Yeah. Like, I was crushing on Hexadecimal the time you were crushing on Buster Baxter, okay? Everyone had a crush on Raven. Yeah. Frankie from Foster's Home, okay. Are we just... Hi, cute stuff. I was just wrapping up. Shigo? Okay, fair. I'm looking at the board and I don't see any new art. And I don't see any new art on Twitter. So I think that's where I'm gonna stop for tonight. But hey, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being here. Let me check and see if there's anything else I need to do. No. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and run an ad and then bounce out of here. Dinner's ready. I'm gonna go eat. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you tomorrow with something else. I don't know what yet. We'll figure it out. Probably something from the sub Discord section where people recommend games, because I need to get a new game in rotation. So we'll see what they recommended. See you then. Bye.